Ted Cruz wants the Department of Defense to audit its handling of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who didn't want to take the experimental COVID jab. This is Friday, May 9th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Thanks for starting the end of your week with the Texas Minute. Even as the GOP's priorities on border security are languishing without action, the Texas House is set up to take up today a Democrats' legislation creating a guest worker program for Mexican nationals. More on that coming up. Under legislation filed by U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, the Department of Defense would be required to create a special review board to audit the service-wide handling of religious accommodation requests related to the COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Cruz said his measure is designed to correct the wrongs done to many service members who were denied promotions and received negative performance reviews for refusing the experimental COVID shots. For service members who were found to be treated improperly, the DoD would have 60 days to make corrective remedies. Those include restoration of date of rank, lost pay, and retirement contributions, as well as backdated promotions. Republican U.S. Representative Ronnie Jackson of Amarillo has introduced companion legislation in the U.S. House. Last month, a bipartisan supermajority of the Texas Senate voted for legislation seeking to prevent non-U.S. citizens from voting in Texas elections. It got a hearing in the Texas House yesterday. Senate Bill 964 by Republican Brian Hughes of Mineola would require driver's licenses and identification cards issued to non-citizens by the Texas Department of Public Safety to display the phrase, quote, not eligible to vote on the front of the license or ID. These ID cards would also be printed vertically instead of horizontally. The House Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs considered the measure this week, but didn't take action. After hours of debate last night, members of the Texas House passed an altered version of legislation that had originated in the Senate. It's designed to prevent the sale of property in Texas to individuals and entities associated with hostile foreign governments. Even though the issue's been a priority of the Texas GOP, the version of Senate Bill 17 that emerged from the Senate drew condemnation from the party. Issue advocates have said the House Committee on State Affairs managed to then make it worse, with the state party and conservative activists asking for significant changes. Meanwhile, Democrats have been insisted that there not be any restrictions on who can purchase property in Texas, even if they're affiliated with hostile nations. It remains to be seen if, when the two chambers meet to work out their own differences in the coming weeks, Senate Bill 17 can also be restored to the point that it will earn support from issue advocates. The Texas Minute will be right back.
News and analysis on what's happening in Texas. End your day with daily headlines from Texas Scorecard. Every day at 5 p.m., join me, Brandon Waltons, as we recap the biggest stories of the day and talk about why they matter to you. Listen and subscribe to Daily Headlines from Texas Scorecard.
While the Texas GOP platform explicitly calls for legislation to prioritize American workers, the Republican-dominated House is set to consider today a Democrats' measure that creates a temporary guest worker program for laborers from Mexico. Under the proposal by Democrat State Representative Ray Lopez of San Antonio, the governor would have to seek approval for the program from the federal government before entering into an agreement with Mexico. The Mexican government would be responsible for screening workers, issuing secure IDs, and ensuring that those workers return to Mexico at the end of their visas. According to Mr. Lopez, the effort is meant to ease ongoing labor shortages, particularly in sectors that rely on low-skilled or seasonal labor. The proposal echoes a similar plan floated by President George W. Bush in 2004, which drew sharp criticism nationally from conservatives who argued that it would incentivize more illegal immigration and depress wages. Meanwhile, Republican-favored legislation to mandate E-Verify and end in-state tuition for illegal aliens has not yet been set for a vote. You can find the details of all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Walker York. It was based on the original reporting of Deborah McClure, Aaron Anderson, and Brandon Waltons. If you enjoy the Texas Minute, please give us a rating, and if you have time, leave a review. This is the easiest way to help us help others find the show. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the first news of the day for the Lone Star State. This has been the Texas Minute with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.